And welcome back to everybody. We're on season number 2 of the Goat Locker Racing Truck Series. It is glad to be back. Took a couple weeks off there, or a few weeks, quite honestly. Had some recruiting races. Took a week off last week during Labor Day just to regroup and get the season set. And man almighty, are we back in full force here at Iowa Speedway from Jam Printing and Promotions 130. We have a 41 truck field tonight, Jamie. Just amazing.
Pat, I am so excited for this. I cannot wait for this green flag to drop. A lot of our core drivers are back from season one. Our champion, Jonah Colbert, right now is sitting on the pole with about a minute, 20 seconds left in qualifying. So he still could be knocked off. We'll see. But, a lot of new faces here from these recruitment races we did. It's been a lot of work and a lot of effort on a lot of people's parts, and it all comes together right now. So, can't be more excited and looking forward to getting this thing started.
Yeah, and our drivers last season asked us for more strategy, longer races, and well, be careful what you ask for. So we're going to start off the season at a little less than a mile track, Iowa. We're going to do 130 laps. I think they're limited to only 3 sets of tires and 50% fuel. So there's a lot of strategy that's going to come into play with our races for the entire season.
Yeah, they asked for strategy. They asked to have to make more decisions. And like you said, beware what you wish for, because we gave it to them. Every race this season, we figured fuel out that's going to put them in between, whether they can make it all the way or can they conserve, whether they can conserve and make it all the way without an extra stop, or are they going to make that extra stop? The problem with making that extra stop, you're not going to have enough tires. So hey, it's a double-edged sword. So we will see how it plays out. And thank you, Glenda. We're always glad to have you in here. Appreciate the support. And let's get ready to race. As this grid's get ready to come up.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of different strategies going to come into play, and I think you explained it absolutely perfectly here. We put them in between. We're going to make them make decisions whether they should take tires or not take tires. They're really going to have to do some tire conservation as well to make it to the end and be able to compete. So interesting to see how this plays out here tonight. But the starting grid is up, and by God, Jamie, we got 41 trucks to make it through, so we better get hustling.
We better get going. I have to delay this start.
Starting on the pole is Jonah Colbert, last season's champion, and number 34 from JC Motorsports with a lap time of 23.380. So congratulations to the champ there, taking the pole in race number 1. To his outside will be Michael Leo Jr. And that number 74. Starting in third is Jamie Mullins in the 66. Starting in fourth is that other JC Motorsports entry of Eddie Smith in the number 25. Starting fifth is Regis Clark in the number 8. To his outside, Trevor McManus, one of our returning drivers from last season from Indy Motorsports or Autosport, and then number 9. Seventh, Andrew Kurtz. Starting in eighth is David Camera in that O2 truck. Starting ninth, Mike Browning in the number 4, and to his outside, one of the other Indy Autosport teammates, Joe Yakes in the 87. Starting in 11th, our brand new addition to Goat Locker Racing, Ryan Pendleton in that Veterans 48 truck. So glad to have him a part of the team and out there racing with us. Starting in 12th is going to be Nate Moyer in the 971. Starting in 13th, Justin Hendry in that 85 truck. Starting 14th is Mike Yates. Starting in 15th is Alan Smith in that number 19 truck. To his outside, Doug Neal in the 977 from Simbox Motorsports. Starting 17th, Brandon Wallace in that number 99. 18th, Gray Fontenette, or Fronick in the number 11. Starting 19th, Scott Rankin from Indy Autosports as well, our brother from down under. And then rounding out our top 20 is going to be Tommy Cook in that number 70 truck.
All right, starting 21st, the piano man himself, William Schroeder in that number 22 machine. Starting 22nd, number 59, Timothy DeLugas. Starting 23rd, number 93, Scott Sanderson. Starting 24th, number 27, our own Jake Bellingson. Starting 25th, the 00 of John Anthony. That is outside. Starting 26th, number 3 of Jake Ham. Starting 27th, number 20, Dennis Yakes. Starting 28th, number 12, Dustin Harrell. Starting 29th, number 55, Charlie Gates. Starting 30th, number 78, Jordan Malcolm. Starting 31st, number 133 of Philip Chartier. Starting 32nd, number 41, James Kaufman. Starting 33rd, number 5, our other Goat Locker Racing driver, Alex Cruz. Starting 34th, number 64, Matt Knight. Starting 35th, number 14, Tony Minton. Starting 36th, number 44, Phil Hitman Monzo. Starting 37th, number 43, Mike Bertosa. Starting 38th, number 45, I see him running that Gators truck, love it, Brian. Number 45, Brian Brogan. Starting 39th, number 21, Anthony Radel. Starting 40th, number 88, Michael Waite. And rounding our field tonight, number 41, number 24, Greg Sherman.
And that is our 41 truck field. The pace car hangs a hard left, and we're getting ready to get underway. Race number 1 is season number 2 in the Goat Locker Truck Racing Series, and we're underway. Jonah Colbert gets a pretty good start there. Looks like Michael Leo Jr. is able to hang to his outside just momentarily. But he is clear for the lead right now. So it looks like Eddie Smith is trying to look to the outside of the 74 and now ducks down to the inside.
Yeah, looks like we got a clean start. I was a little worried with 41 trucks on the track how that was going to work out. But so far, we're going to get through lap 1 cleanly.
We are off on lap number 2 in the 25 truck of Eddie Smith, still battling Michael Leo Jr. in that 74 for the second position. Looks like he's going to fall back into third right now. And Jamie Mullins in that 66 truck into fourth. And Trevor McManus right now is rounding out our top 5. And we still have a lot of side-by-side battles back through the field.
And Iowa will produce that. Very easy to run door-to-door here at this track. As we saw last night in the Maple Ridge Racing Series, the super late models, they ran 40 laps, start to finish, green flag racing. A lot of intense racing there, so I expect to see the same from our guys here tonight.
And I'll tell you what, man, a lot of these trucks look really good under the lights here at Iowa. We were talking a little bit before race. Those Indy Autosports guys really came with it this year. A lot of sharp paint schemes here. Great to see these guys out of course.
Yeah, absolutely. They've definitely grown. I think they really wanted to come after Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith. So I figured they probably thought there was power in numbers. But right now, Jonah Colbert's still showing the way. The champ says he's keeping that belt.
Yeah, he is. If we take a look back through the field here a little bit, we'll focus in here on Ryan Pendleton, who's in 16th position in the 23 Veterans 48 truck, having himself a decent night, falling back a little bit from the start here. But a lot of these guys I know are going to play some tire conservation, knowing that they've only got a few set of tires in the pits, and they're going to need to be able to maintain. This is going to be a long race here this year.
Yes, it is. And Iowa will eat some tires if you're not careful. It's very easy to drive these trucks in deep, and you can get away with it for a short time, but you're really going to pay the price on those tires if you continue to do that. So you really need to back the corners up, easy in, easy off, really save these tires, especially when we've already said we've created them to be short on tires on purpose. So we'll see how they handle it.
Continue to lap around here. These top 3 trucks are staying pretty close to one another. Trevor McManus has moved his way up into 4th position. So I suspect here probably in a handful of laps he's going to want to get up here and battle it out. But Jonah Colbert still maintains the lead here. As he's closely followed by Michael Leo Jr. and Eddie Smith.
Yeah, and these 3 trucks have they've broken away from the lead pack. Eddie Smith has almost a full second back to Trevor McManus. Trevor McManus he's an expert at saving those tires, so wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him, and I don't know, maybe I'll give him 10 laps, start reeling these guys in, because he's really good at that.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys have had to thought through their strategy, or at least we hope they've thought through their strategy coming into this race. And I know some of these guys are holding back right now, either trying to play the fuel conservation game or saving tires. I'm sure a lot of drivers didn't expect the first 10 laps to go green here. So they're getting a feel for these trucks and getting a feel for how they're going to work in the long run here. And I'm sure some of these drivers are already starting to think about pit strategy.
Yeah, how can you not? They are running limited fuel. So pit stops will not be as long as what you probably typically see here at Iowa. But sorry, I'm laughing. DV and Alley come in here speaking Spanish and calling us amigos, not amigos. So kind of made me chuckle there.
All right, then.
But yeah, so yeah, these guys definitely. Oh, caution's out. Have to leave it up to you to tell us what brought that out.
I'd love to be able to tell you. I'm going to look back through the field here and see if who's got turned around or where people are at, because I'm not really seeing any issues right now. I do see the 70 truck at Tommy Cook. Looks like he's a little bit slow and on the apron, so not sure if he came around or what exactly happened. He does have damage to the left rear of that truck. It also looks like there's damage to the right rear of the truck right in front of him, which is the 133. So if I had to guess, Jamie, the two trucks with the damage right now, what brings out the caution?
Okay.
Wasn't able to catch it in real time there, but imagine those two trucks will be coming down pit road. But this is decision number one for them this evening. Whether they come down and pit, whether do they take tires, or just gas only right now, considering 13 laps, and it looks like our leaders are going to stay out.
Except for Trevor McManus, he's bringing that 9 truck down on pit road, and Indy Autosports fellas are following him down.
So again, we're going to start seeing some of that play out here a little bit, as these teams have thought through their strategies a little bit, and it looks like the Indy Autosports guys are going to take a little different route here. We got a handful of trucks on pit road for sure. Looks like the 17 or the 85 truck missed his pit and had to back into it. So we definitely have quite a few takers on pit road, Jamie.
Well, I'm not seeing many trucks go up in the air, so I'm guessing these guys are really only taking fuel. So they are 10 laps into this, or actually 14 laps now into this run. So I don't really remember what the fuel run is here that we gave them for fuel, but that would definitely be a significant chunk out of that. So these guys will be able to go quite a bit further if this thing goes green. It's going to force the ones that didn't pit to have to come down early.
Yeah, the fuel runs aren't real long, and so they're definitely going to have to take a look at that. And again, knowing what those are, knowing, exactly, how far you got to go on fuel, and really the fuel that we gave them, they should only be able to go about 40 laps according to our calculations. So 15 laps into this, they come down. So these drivers would definitely be able to go 15 more laps than everybody else. But now you're looking at these drivers that stayed out that can only go another 25 laps. We're going to get a couple caution laps here. They'll save a little fuel there, so it's really going to start to depend on that whole theory of cautions breed cautions and how that starts to play into this a little bit, and then how some of these trucks that came down and just grabbed some fuel, if they're going to be able to stay out a little bit longer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this kind of plays into their hands. The ones that came down and got fuel, it's going to stretch that run out longer for them, especially if this thing stays green. And I think it's going to, help them with the tire situation. Because the guys that didn't come down right now, when they have to make this stop in about 25 laps, they will definitely have to take tires at that point.
Yeah, because each set of tires, they've got 3 total sets of it, so I'm not 100% real good on public math here, but they go about 43 laps on a set of tires. Mm-hmm. So again, they can go 43 laps on a set of tires, but only 40 laps on a tank of fuel. So there's definitely going to be some decisions to be made on how they're going to play this out. And I'm just anxious to see some of it. I know we're probably going to talk about it a lot because it's just one of those wrinkles that we were looking forward to as well, and I know the drivers were. They're all lined up 2 by 2 right now, getting ready to see that green flag fly back in the air here shortly. Pace car is off. Jonah Colbert is taken off with his teammate right behind him in the 25. Michael Leo Jr. did not get the greatest restarts there, but you kind of almost saw that coming with the 2 JC Motorsports guys lined up there. And they clear for first and second place right now. And now we're seeing the 02 truck of David Cameron up into the picture racing for third position.
Yeah, another newcomer to the league. Both him and Mike Aiello running up front here with the leaders. Both of these are new drivers for season 2, so it's always good to see the fresh faces get up here and show that they're fast and that they can compete with really the best of the best out of this league. So really excited for this season. The competition has really been amped up, and you know, it was pretty dang good for season 1. So
no, absolutely. We've now completed 19 laps of our scheduled 130 here this evening. And the Jam Printing and Promotions 130 from Iowa Speedway. A lot of great racing here so far. Some of the pit strategy has definitely played out. We saw some drivers come down and take fuel only, and most of the top 15 or so stayed out at this point in time. So again, we'll have to continue to see some of this plays out. But looks like most of the field is getting single file right now, logging some laps, and we're really starting to see some of the different lines throughout the track. And as you mentioned earlier, Jamie, Iowa lends itself to some great side-by-side racing because you can really run 3 different lanes and you'll maintain the same lap speed.
Yeah, as we talked about last night, about the only place you don't want to put the truck on this track is the high side of turn 1. There's a huge bump there that will really upset it. Other than that, you can use from the wall to the yellow line for the most part. So it really lends to some really great racing here at Iowa.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here this evening. We've seen some great side-by-side racing all the way back through the field and up front here. Guys using different lines and different strategy. We're also seeing Scott Sanderson now has moved himself up into the top 5, up 18 spots from where he started, so he is slowly but surely clawing his way up to the field. Andrew Kirk's back there at 6th position, having himself a pretty solid night as well. Just an injury in that number 85 Toyota machine, up into 7th position right now. Go back and start taking a look at some of these Indo Autosports guys, as Trevor McManus has now worked his way up into 11th position. So those guys, and you can almost see they're all in a row at this point in time. All coming up through the field. Jacob Ellingson back in 12th place with that Mighty Ducks paint scheme.
You know, Jacob said he was going to win this thing, didn't he?
He did. That's what he said. We'll leave it at that.
Not laughing at you, Jake.
Laughing with you, my friend.
Love the confidence, though.
I absolutely do. I mean, he said it with 100% confidence. He's like, I'm just going to go out and win the race. I'm like, okay.
There you
go. Get him, Tiger.
I mean, why show up if you don't think you can do it?
Absolutely, man. And they're out there putting on a show right now. But as we continue to kind of look at some of these Indy Autosports guys, Mike Browning coming up through the field, Joe Yates coming up through the field, Brian Brogan up 22 spots to the 16th position. So Ken having himself a solid night.
Well, but look how he's doing it. He got rid of that dang Miami Dolphins paint scheme.
Here we go.
He's running that Gator scheme, and that thing is fast.
Here we go.
It is fast. Look at you go, Brian. I love it.
Has everything to do with the paint scheme. As we
That's
have a
right.
truck
Well,
slow on the front stretch out there. Still under power. Not sure what's going on there, but as the leaders flashed by, I saw that truck down on the inside.
You know, it reminds me back one, I was some time ago, I'm aging myself now, at Daytona, when Gordon showed up and they had hand painted that car because they did all that wind tunnel work on it, and you know, there was no decals on it. It was all hand painted, you know, to get the best aerodynamics out of it. So, you know, that's what's happening here with Brian. He has the best paint scheme, the most aerodynamic paint scheme out there on the track right now, and he's taking advantage of it.
Hey, you made a believer out of me, man. I'm sold. I'm sold. That's what it is. It's the paint scheme. I'm not even going to argue. Go Brian. Go Gators.
That's right. I know you're not a big follower, but have you happened to see the helmets that the Gators are going to wear on Saturday? It's been all over Facebook today.
I have not. I mean, and a lot of those posts like that and things like that, I take a look at them because they've been doing some really cool stuff with the helmets and everything. We're back under caution here. Yeah. It looks like James Kaufman has crashed. So we'll go back and take a look here.
Single car, single truck.
looks like the 41 gets a little hot into the corner, gets into Greg Sherman, and then he gets collected up by a different truck. Not a lot of damage. Most guys will be able to keep their trucks pointed in the right direction. Definitely that 41 truck will have to come down and get some left rear damage fixed up, but that's what brings us under caution number 2 here tonight.
Don't look like anything we need to penalize, so.
And now all the leaders are coming down pit road, so now we're going to see how this changes out. And it looks like everybody's coming at this point in time to grab the tires. They have 30 laps on these tires, they're getting pretty wore out here.
Well, this has definitely flipped the script right back into Jonah's favor here. He'll be able to get fueled up, get his tires, and hopefully for him, he wins this battle off pit road and retains the lead.
Well, Jamie, those JC Motorsports guys took fuel only.
Wow,
no tires.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. That's a lot of laps. I mean, maybe everybody else does the same.
We'll have to check some of the pit times and all that stuff. But what I'm seeing right now, it looks like most of our top running drivers took fuel only. So everybody's trying to conserve those 2 sets of tires that they got in the pits right now, and not use them this early into the race, knowing there's still 100 laps left. They always make liars out of us, Jamie. Always.
Hey, the monkey has subscribed once again. We appreciate it, Charles Stevens. That's 3 months running for you there, buddy.
Why can't we get Charles Stevens Jr. in a truck? What are you doing,
man? Exactly, man. If you got time to sit here and dang subscribe in the stream, which we love, by the way.
We do.
Why are you not racing?
We had 2 more spots on the starting grid.
Absolutely. I hope he's not really in the race and we've just missed it.
That would be terrible. Like, oh, my bad. I doubt it. Always love having him around. He's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to race with. I so enjoy the races we get to race together. And he's a big fan of ours. Always pops into the stream, so we appreciate it a ton.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I was bringing up about the Gators helmets, the uniforms they're going to wear Saturday, with it being 9/11, it is, you got to go check it out. Straight fire. I actually kind of teared up a little bit when I saw it. They're wearing white helmets, which is very rare for them to do. It's a white helmet with the Gator, traditional Gator script on the side, but the Gator script is in blue and orange in a flag pattern. It is phenomenal. They did photo shoots with a local Gainesville Fire Department
Nice.
to show off the uniforms. It's just awesome, and I'm sure they're not going to be the only program to do something special for Saturday being September 11th, the 20th anniversary. But theirs was particularly nice, so I was proud of them for doing that, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah, that is awesome. Definitely have to check that out. But as we take a look here at the race, I'm telling you, Jamie, most everybody was fuel only on that stop. I think the first guy that took tires was back in 17th position with his pit stop at 12:53 was Mike Browning. Short of that, I'm only seeing a couple guys that actually took tires. So again, the strategy is continuing to unfold as we go through this race. Everybody being real conservative with the tires. We do have a couple trucks that have stayed out. Brandon Wallace is now the leader of this race with William Schroeder to his outside. So they have stayed out. We've seen, I believe Dennis Yakes has stayed out as well. So we're going to have a tough time keeping up with all the strategy because we've got about 5 different ones playing out right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm guessing Brandon Wallace and Piano Man had come down on that previous caution and probably tanked up then. So they've still got quite a ways that they can run. And since nobody 16th and forward has taken tires, it really shouldn't put them at any kind of disadvantage on this restart.
Nope, pace car is off. Brandon Wallace has restarted, gets an
Wow.
awesome jump there. 22 is able to clear as well. Jonah Colbert doesn't get the best restart as Eddie Smith is just pushing him down the front stretch, trying to get him moving. Jonah Colbert is now underneath the 22, and they're battling it out for second place. Brandon Wallace has decided to check out here a little bit as they continue to battle side by side.
And nice to see Brandon Wallace up front in that 99 truck.
They are battling for second place right now. Schroeder is not one to give an inch at this point in time. Is really driving that outside line hard.
Piano Man, he'll race you hard. He's going to race you clean, but he will race you hard. He will not just roll over and give up a position. So Jonah's going to have to work for this if he wants to get around to 22.
And they continue, again, side by side coming off of Ford. And a lot of trucks back through the field right now, jockeying for position. As we continue to see some of the strategy itself play out. Just some outstanding racing here as Jonah Colbert is able to clear the 22 right now, but he's going to try to cross him up. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Right now, Brandon Wallace continues to kind of set sail a little bit here in that Geis Escorts number 99 truck. Good old Matt Geis.
Yeah, it's an ode to him.
Woo. Yeah, man, looked like he had to check up quite a bit. Thomas the Tank had to slow up. Eddie Smith was almost all over the back of him, but everybody gets it under control and keep going here.
Caution
is back out.
And we'll have to try to take a look at what happened here as we go back through the field, and it looks like all these trucks are pointed in the right direction at this point in time. Not seeing where the caution came from. I see a few trucks right here that look like they're coming off well, they're not coming off a pit road. I see the 20 truck and a couple others here, so not 100% sure what happened back here with the pack, but we do have a group of drivers that are trying to stay in front of the pace car at this point in time. So they must have all got tangled up together as Jake Ellingson is back there with them as well.
Yeah, I know Charlie Gates asked for an EOL. I'm going to have to ask if anybody needs something.
Yep. No, absolutely. We got to keep control of the race.
Is there anybody that needs an EOL now?
As we continue to kind of cycle through some of these things, James will be talking to the drivers here a little bit, making sure that everything's taken care of on that end of things. One of the things we always try to do, and what produces great racing within our series, is, these drivers do a very good job of policing themselves, whether it's they know they messed up and they're like, hey, I need that end of the line penalty, or they're down on power, or any of those types of things. So a lot of times it's self-policing, but we got to get in there and make sure we clear penalties or assess them as needed. But a lot of great racing here this evening. A lot of great racing. As we're coming up on 41 laps complete of our scheduled 130 here this evening in the Jam Printing and Promotions 130 from Iowa Speedway. Again, for everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network, this is the kickoff of season number 2. We've got a 10-race regular season and a 3-race playoff coming up. Should provide for some outstanding racing all week long, or all season long, and it's really provided for some great racing here tonight. What an awesome way to open up our season here at Iowa Speedway with the great side-by-side racing that we're having.
Yeah, it's been, I don't think we could have asked for better racing to start this race off with 41 trucks on a track the size of Iowa. Everybody's done an excellent job. The incidents that we have had have been really pretty minor. So, man, good start to season 2.
Yeah, as we go back and check in on one of our drivers, Alex Cruz back there, sitting back in 16th position, up 17 spots where he started. So poor qualifying effort, but he's slowly but surely making his way up to the field. So good to see that Gill Insurance Advisors truck coming up through the field here. Check back in on Ryan Pendleton as well, who's back in 19th position. Good look at Veterans 48 pickup truck there. Greg Sherman, we haven't had a chance to call his name too much. He's in that number 24 Yingling truck. He is the owner of the Broke Scrub League that we used to race in. good friend of ours. Glad to see him coming out here and racing with us, because we know it all too well. Jamie, owning the league and running it and doing all the behind the scenes work is it's a lot. And to
Yes.
be able to just get behind the wheel of a car and go race it's fun when you have to do all this other stuff. So good to see him out here running with us and having a good time. And Tony Minton there too as well. We had a little mid-season, off-season vote on what paint scheme he was going to run, because he was running Captain Crunch last year. I think he tried to switch it up on us. I don't even remember what the other paint scheme was, but everybody voted, no, man, you got to stay in the Captain Crunch truck. So good to see the captain back out here.
Yeah, it is a Captain Crunch, but I think it's a different variation of the Captain Crunch. It's not the same one he was running last year.
It's a sharp-looking truck.
This is more the traditional, or the Crunch Berries, isn't it?
No, this is OG, man. That's still just Captain Crunch.
Oh, that looked like the Crunch Berries box.
There's no other Captain Crunch that exists, man. All those other foo-foo things aren't really Captain Crunch. You know this.
Oh. I don't know about that now.
Well, I'm telling you. There's one Captain Crunch. That's it. As we take a look at Brian Brogan back here in that Gators truck that we've talked about a couple different times. Right side of that truck's a little ruffled up there, but still having himself a pretty solid night. These guys
Albert's looking mean though on the left side.
Yes, we got these trucks lined back up 2x2, getting ready to take the green flag again. We'll have 44 laps complete. A lot of racing left to go, and for the most part, nobody's taking tires yet. So these trucks are gonna, the handling's got to be going away pretty quickly on them. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. He holds them all the way to the green there. So again, Jonah Colbert almost kind of gets caught. Oh, it looks like we got somebody that got shuffled down into the grass there. Couldn't quite catch it. Still under green though here.
They're having to shuffle around in the back of the pack here, try to get things sorted out.
Kind of focus in here on our leader. Brant Wall still continues to lead this. But here comes Jonah Colbert there down on the inside with his teammate Eddie Smith right behind him. We've got Anthony Radel now up into the 4th position in the number 21 machine. So another new driver coming up to the front here. And Scott Sanderson right now running out our top 5 in the number 93 truck. William Schroeder has moved back into that 8th position here. So boy, there are a lot of trucks back here just trying to dice up through the field a little bit. I'm seeing some moves here that are making me wince.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, I'm kind of watching the action going on back here in the back. The guys are doing an outstanding job of trying to work around each other. There's some guys I think they're trying to just work their way to the back to not be in the way. Other guys trying to come forward, but a lot of patience from everybody to sort this out and keep it clean.
Yeah, as we take a look at Phil the Hitman Monzo, great to have him running this season with us. He's back there and keeps switching on me. About 13th position, so he's running really strong though. Kind of caught in the middle right now as they're 3 wide around him. So, but again, I'm seeing a lot of give and take here. Guys giving each other a lot of room to be able to navigate through. As now we see the 9 truck of Trevor McManus slicing up through the field at this point in time. But man, great racing with just an awesome group of drivers here. And a lot of fun to watch. There's almost too much to watch.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Something has happened to the 43 of Mike Bertosa. I don't see a whole lot of damage, but he's had to bring that truck down to pit lane. It looks like he's going to get tires here. Not sure what led to this, but he is on pit road.
Take a look back here too. Hadn't had a chance to call Scott Rankin's number, but the 49 truck having himself a decent night here tonight. Looks like the right side of that truck's gotten up into the wall maybe once or twice there, but he still continues to press forward here. We look at Doug Neal now too, and we always try to call out his number in that 977 from Simbox Motorsports. He is our resident button box builder, so anybody that is interested in getting a button box or doing anything with them, please get a hold of Doug Neal. They do some great work and they customize it to everybody's needs. That was a free plug for you there, buddy. I expect royalties.
Absolutely. Go Rocker Racing takes 20% of any button box sold.
That's right. Contract is binding at this point in time. Read the fine print. Sorry about your luck, Doug. As we now got the 55 truck, which will end up being a lap truck at this point in time. They're coming up on him. Brandon Wallace has fallen all the way back to the 6th position here, as Jonah Colbert is now taking control of this lead one more time here, followed by his teammate Eddie Smith in that 25. Scott Sanderson has moved his way up to the 3rd position. David Camera in that 02 truck is in 4th. Rounding out our top 5 now is Joe Yates, as he has started to move that 87 truck up through the field.
I tell you who is kind of surprising me a little bit, because since he really should have the newest tires out there on the track, is Mike Browning. Really expected to see him start coming up through the field, but he's been kind of mired back there in 13th. I think after that pit stop when he took tires, he came out 17th, so he's only gained 4 spots. He is to the inside of Justin Hendry now, trying to move up to 12th, but I really thought those tires would make a bigger difference for him.
I would as well. Now, my guess is he took tires. If he had a little bit of damage to that truck and just set on pit road and got it taken care of, that could be the case as well. All we can really do is look at the time they spent on pit road and make an educated guess on it.
Right.
For him not being able to move up, he might not have taken those tires here. We'll have to see as the race continues on. But the truck is all fixed up and going, so that's a sharp truck, man. That is a very sharp truck.
It's very 80-ish looking.
I dig it, man. Got Alex Cruz right there behind him in the number 5 machine, having himself a good night as well, as we have completed 56 laps here tonight of our scheduled 130. Again, all of our leaders running on the set of tires that they started on. So there are 56 laps on these tires. Jonah Colbert is now stretching out his lead here a little bit.
That's amazing to me. That he's still able to run this strong 56 laps into this race. That's I don't know what's happened here. I don't know if he's just taking the torch over from Eddie Smith. You know, he figures his name's on the team. He needs to be the leader, I guess. So hats off to Jonah Colbert. He's running a whale of a race right now.
As the lap times are about a second slower than their best laps during the race, so it's been you know, for that many laps on these tires, I would have expected a little bit more fall off, but they're only running about a second slower than they did to start the race, so maybe they're knowing something about these tire compounds that we didn't realize here a little bit, that they're holding up a little bit more. They're making the most out of these tires.
They sure are.
So now it looks like Eddie Smith is starting to creep in the picture here just a little bit. Scott Sanderson still back there in 3rd position. 4th and 5th has not changed. David Cameron and Joe Yates there. Truck we haven't had a chance to call yet this evening, but the 88 truck of Michael Waite now has moved himself up into 6th position. So he is moving up through the field in that Hooters truck.
Boy, started 40th up to 6th. Wow, that's a lot of trucks to pass.
Take a look at Andrew Kurtz in that 48 machine back in 7th position. And then one of our early front runners up there, the 74 truck of Michael Leo Jr., is working his way back up to the front right now in 8th position, challenging for 7th. Mike Browning is now working his way up to 9th position, so maybe those tires are starting to kick in as he's able to get some more of these cars that have, or trucks that have been single file and start picking them off one by one here. But he's definitely making up ground as he's made it up into 9th position.
Sure is. I just heard Brandon Wallace come over comms that he's bringing that truck to pit road. So it looks like the folks that stayed out since that first pit stop are having to make their green flag stops now.
Yep, Brandon Wallace brings it down pit road right now. He was one of only a couple trucks that had stayed out there, so the gas tank must be empty at this point in time. So the only way this strategy is going to work out for him is everybody cycles to the green flag stop. Alex Cruz continues to work his way up to the field. He's up in 12th position, up 21 spots from where he started. Jonah Colbert still continues to maintain quite the lead. Eddie Smith is pulling away from Scott Sanderson as well.
these two are definitely separated from the rest of the field.
Now we're seeing a few trucks that are coming down pit lane. So again, the strategy continues to play out here this evening. We're going to start to see some green flag stops from guys that didn't bring their trucks down the caution before. And we'll have to see how far some of our leaders are able to go as well. There is quite the gap between 6th and 7th right now. And the positions are changing so much at this point in time. These guys are coming on and off pit road as our leaders are staying out. It's going to be a little bit difficult to keep up with. We'll do our best here. Jonah Colbert almost out to a second lead right now, Jamie.
Yeah, and I was just getting ready to say, we've been kind of remiss in mentioning that today is Jonah's birthday.
Oh.
So the birthday boy is out there leading the way in this Jam Printing and Promotions 130.
That it completely set my mind. It is birthday boy out there just having a whale of a day.
Absolutely. So happy birthday, Jonah. You getting old there, feller?
Nah, it happens to the best of us, man. It beats the alternative.
That's true. As they put Brian Brogan a lap down.
As I'm starting to hear a couple more drivers calling out the pits. This is going to be our first round of green flag stops here as these guys continue to lap around. But again, a lot of our front runners have not even changed tires yet. So they're going to have a couple sets of tires to get them through the last half of this, as we are definitely past halfway at this point in time. 68 laps complete of our scheduled 130.
Wow. I didn't see this coming, Pat.
I didn't either. And really, the lap times, I tell you, Jamie, they haven't fallen off much. They're about 1.3 seconds off from the start of the race what their lap times are now. These guys were running 23.4s at the beginning of the race. They're 24.7s right now. So there hasn't been a whole lot of fall off. So these guys definitely thought this through a little bit here, picked the right strategies. They're going to have extra sets of tires here at the end of this to get all the way through. And really, depending on how long these front runners want to go, they might bring it down pit road and never come back.
And that's you're absolutely right. I just be honest with you, I did not see that happening in Iowa. You know, we just ran the trucks here Sunday night with the original Rebels, and you know, tires were an issue. You know, I mean,
caution is out. Looks like Matt Knights has crashed here. We'll go back and take a look at what happened there. This is going to shake up a lot of things. It looks like a lot of guys are going to have to take the wave around here. We take a look at what happens to Matt Knights here in the 64. Comes off of 4, truck gets extremely loose, tries to catch it, and just gets clipped on the back end, spins him around down on the infield. Caution is out there. So another single car incident here brings us under caution, but it is definitely going to put a whole new wrinkle on this race, Jamie.
Sorry, I'm trying to hear race comms to see there were some folks needing some attention, so.
Here come our leaders down pit road.
Yeah, I can't see anybody staying out this time.
No, and some of those that made those green flag stops will have to stay out, take their wave around, get them back on the lead lap here. So that should work out. And I tell you, Jamie, if these trucks don't take tires this time, I don't even know what we're doing. I give up. Uncle, you guys win.
Yeah, I thought we were making it difficult on them, but Jonah is not even.
The truck is up in the air. The truck's in the air. We're getting tires.
Well, don't look like everybody did, because Jonah Colbert's not going to be the first truck off of pit road.
Not real sure if those drivers that came out first took tires at a different point in time. It's always hard to tell. But it could be that they took tires at some other point during the race. So Jonah Colbert won't be the first one coming off pit road here, but the top 3 drivers that came down pit road definitely all got their tires. And we'll see where they come out in the running order as it continues to sort itself out.
And apologize to everybody that's watching the stream right now and wondering why we can't give you good answers on who's doing what. But you know, it is just me and Pat doing this. We are not Fox or NBC with a whole broadcasting crew and you know people dedicated to probably each car to know exactly what they did on pit road. So we apologize for that. Just giving you the best information we can.
Yeah, I don't have an assistant handing me, you know, data, sheets of data, and all the other kind of crazy stuff. But we just wing it.
That's right.
You know, and for some reason people like it, so we're just gonna keep winging it.
So right now, iRacing is showing me as Michael Waite being the leader.
And that is what I am seeing as well right now. So again, I think a lot of these trucks are waiting on a wave around. Well, if Michael Waite stayed, we're gonna have to see. I don't think he stayed out. I believe he was one of the trucks that came down pit road there and grabbed fuel only. And that's what I'm kind of showing right now is his pit stop time was only 7.67 seconds. So definitely a fuel only stop for him. So that's what's going to put him out to the lead. And all the trucks that you see in front of them should be waved around here as coming up on the one to go next time around. They get waved around, join the field at the back, and get back on the lead lap.
Okay, I got to do some race control here. Matt Knight, what was the reason for the yellow? I know you said passing, but what caused it? Matt, I wasn't able to hear you.
All right, so it looks like some of these trucks are taking off to cycle around the pace car here. It's going to line up the rest of our field 2 by 2. And we'll get this running order sorted out and get back underway here as we've completed 75 laps of our scheduled 130. So we are definitely winding down here. Some outstanding racing here this evening from Iowa Speedway and the Champ Running Promotions 130. Again, could not be more excited about starting Goat Locker Racing truck season number 2. 41 trucks took the grid tonight. I mean, just amazing field of drivers out here.
All right, just so we're got everything above board here, we typically don't clear black flags. For some reason, Matt Knight's got a black flag for passing. I tried to get clarification on it. I couldn't hear his answer. He's 3 laps down. I went ahead and cleared his penalty. So,
oh my goodness, it looks like that 88 truck of Michael Waite really got into one too much, slid up the track here, and now the 34 of Jonah Colbert and the 93 of Scott Sanderson are side by side battling it out for the lead.
So Katie Smith's cleared the 88 as well.
So those 3 trucks now set sail.
And we're seeing the difference between, Mike Browning got loose and I can't tell, it looks like 85 of Justin Hendry got to the back of him, but I'm not going to put any blame on Justin Hendry there. Mike Browning was loose. The back end of that truck had stepped out before there was ever even any contact.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it here as it looks like he starts to get a little bit loose. The 85 gets into the back of him and just kind of finishes it off there. A lot of damage to the front end of the 85 truck. As we watch Mike Browning here, it looks like he's able to get that truck woed up here and not get into the wall. So it's going to be a little bit of a no harm, no foul type situation. He's definitely going to lose some track position, but at least not a lot of damage to the truck. Man almighty, the front end of the 85 truck is all pushed in.
Well, it didn't look like there was that much contact.
No.
I mean, watching it live, it just looked like Mike Browning had gotten a little out of shape, and Justin Hendry being, tight racing here on this start just kind of finished him off. But you're right, there's a lot of contact there at that front end.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see that either, but that is a lot of damage to the front end of that truck. And while we are, we'll classify it as a short track here. Iowa's about 9/10 of a mile long. Aero isn't going to come into, well, I mean, it definitely plays out here, so we'll have to see how much that affects that truck and how he's able to run with that type of damage done to it.
Well, I imagine it's going to become very, very tight.
As we go back here and take a look at the number 4 truck, again, no damage to that truck whatsoever. And it's clean all the way around, so interesting to see the 85 got that much damage to the nose. But Mike Brownie definitely has lost some track position here as he had to catch that truck and get it pointed back in the right direction here. So he'll have a lot of work to get to make his way back up to the field.
And while this happened, Scott Sanderson was able to take the lead. So I think for the first time tonight, Scott Sanderson's got that 93 truck up to the point.
Yep, to have a new leader here this evening. Not a real big surprise, very strong in the races that he actually came to last season. So not surprised to see that 93 truck up front here. But I know those JC Motorsports guys aren't done yet here this evening. I'll tell you another driver who really hadn't had a chance to give a shout out to. Jake Ham, another one of the Indy Autosports guys, has joined up with us this season. And again, another damn good looking truck, man.
Yeah, sporting that big number 3 on the side of it. That's pretty sharp.
I love what these guys did with these trucks, man. I mean, real good contrast on the trucks and good use of the spec maps, a lot of chrome on them. I mean, whoever's doing the painting for Indy Autosports, they know what the hell they're doing.
I think big money Scott Rankins he's contracting it out. They probably spent a whole bunch of money to make these trucks look this good.
I mean, they're no Jamie Barkins. Don't get me wrong.
Well, they look better than that. And I'm just kidding you, Scott. Scott probably painted these trucks. I don't know. Or maybe Joe did it.
I no idea. I'd be interested to know because, I mean, one, I just want to give them the compliment. I mean, they have put some real good looking trucks out here on the track.
They sure have.
We'll check back in on a couple drivers we had a chance to call here, but Jordy Malcolm back in 30th position in that number 78 truck. He running exactly where he started, so not the strongest of nights for him, but glad to have him part of the field here and out here racing with us. And Mike Pertosa back there as well, back in 38th position. Again, another one of those drivers we love having out here with us. Jacob Ellingson right now sitting on pit road all the way back in 40th position, so definitely not having the night he wanted to have.
No, he's not. I'm not sure if he's even still in the race or not. He must be. He's probably just trying to get a lot of damage fixed, I'm guessing, because he hasn't failed.
Yeah, these trucks are sitting 2x2 right now, getting ready to take the restart here. Coming down the backstretch right now, and again, there's been a lot of great racing here this evening. We've had a couple cautions, not to be expected here, but man, just some really, really good racing.
Absolutely.
So the pace car pulls off. We're going to get underway one more time here this evening. Scott Sanderson takes off, clears the 34 of Jonah Colbert. Eddie Smith down to the inside of Jonah Colbert right now, but thinks better of it, falls in line behind his teammate. So he'll fall back to third position as now Joe Yakes is looking to the outside of Eddie Smith, trying to challenge for that third position. Gets a good run off of Ford. Not sure he's going to be able to do a whole lot with it going down into 3 here, though. Looks about the top 10 drivers right now, sorted out single file. A lot of racing still going on back through the pack here.
Yeah, and once again, in the back of the pack, we're seeing a lot of guys being very patient while they jockey for position so that everybody gets where they kind of feel comfortable. So some comers and goers back in the back, but everybody's doing an excellent job of sorting it out. It's really fun to watch.
As we have 45 laps left here to go here this evening in the Jam Printing and Promotions 130. You see Greg Sherman down there on the apron, staying out of everybody's way. Not sure what happened to that Yingling truck, but now Jonah Colbert looks underneath the 93 truck to take control of this race one more time. Come off 4 side by side. Scott Sanderson is going to have the bigger run coming off the corner, but Jonah sends it down into turn 1. So seeing another truck coming down on the apron, the 17 truck down there. So a couple trucks looks a little off the pace here. Hopefully they can get back up to speed and get running. This battle for the lead is still not settled itself out yet. Those 2 trucks continue to battle side by side.
Wow.
This is only dragging Eddie Smith and Joe Yates up into the picture as well.
Yeah. Some nice door-to-door racing between these 2. Very impressive.
As they continue to battle side by side. It's almost a mirror every lap. Jonah Colbert's definitely able to get down into turn 1 a lot stronger. The 93 truck is able to power up off the corners using that outside line. Again, he clears him coming off of turn 4. Jonah Colbert turns that truck down to the inside. He's going to try to make another run at it. This time Eddie Smith has now moved to the outside of the 34 truck. So looks like Eddie Smith is going to try his hand at getting up there and challenging for the lead with the 93.
That looks like Jonah and Eddie are going to run door to door. Jonah is just not going to give an inch here.
No, he is continuing to battle hard down there on the inside line. Joe Yates is just sitting back in the catbird seat right now, watching the show, wondering which line's going to move and which one to go with. He continues to just kind of run a middle line, wondering where the hole's going to open up.
And he's ready to pounce wherever it does.
Eddie Smith all over the back end of that 93 truck as the 93 got a little loose coming off the 4 that really put Eddie up onto the back of it. And now Eddie's going to send his truck underneath. Woo! Close racing.
And Jonah Colbert closed right up to the bumper of his teammate there. Wow. I'm telling you right now, folks, if you could show me better racing than this, please do it, because I want to see it, first of all. But something tells me you're just not going to be able to do it. So.
And now Joe Yates has moved himself out to the side of Jonah Colbert. So Jonah Colbert now falling back to 4th position. He continues to try to battle back on that inside line, but it seems like some of these guys are able to really use that outside line right now, this deep into the run, to gain speed.
Yeah, now Jonah Colbert, who's led a lot of this race tonight, has been shuffled back to 4th. We're closing in on 100 laps complete.
Again, all of these drivers has at least one set of tires sitting in the pits still, so we'll have to see how the strategy continues to play itself out. Scott Sanderson has taken over control of this race with the number 93 machine. Looked like there for a minute Eddie Smith was going to have something to say about it, but he's had to reset here a little bit. He's going to probably cool those tires back off a little bit and make another charge up here. Joe Yates, having an outstanding run here this evening himself, up 7 positions from where he started. First time we're seeing him up here in the top 3, Jamie.
Absolutely. Wow.
I had to hold my breath there too.
And even look at Alex Cruz, the run he's having. He's got that truck up to 7th right now, started 33rd. Man, these guys, this phenomenal jobs by a lot of guys in this field tonight.
Yeah, he has definitely turned a bad qualifying effort into one hell of a race here tonight. And being one of the Goat Locker drivers, we know Alex really well, and Alex is one of those guys that's very patient and shows up in the late run. I'd almost equate him to a Kevin Harvick. He's like, where did he come from? And really, that's what we're saying right now. Is like, where did Alex come from? He's all the way up into 7th position right now.
Speaking of where they come from, Scott Sanderson You know, he started 23rd, and he's taking that 93 truck to the point, and he's kind of opening it up on Eddie Smith a little bit here.
As the gap continues to widen a little bit. Joe Yates is kind of falling back here a little bit as well, and Jonah Colbert is still sitting back there in fourth position, still trying to utilize that low line. He's one of the few trucks up front right now we see down on that yellow line, because most of these other trucks are staying about a lane and a half up. Especially on entry, we're seeing some of them come down to the yellow line to get the good run off, but starting to see a little bit as the track is wearing in a little bit and rubbering up a little bit. These guys are moving around trying to find the best line around. Eddie Smith being real patient right now, trying to see where the weakness of the 93 truck is and get that 25 up to the lead.
When Scott Sanderson crosses the start-finish line, we will have 30 laps to go here in the Jam Printing and Promotions 130 from Iowa Speedway.
100 laps here, complete here tonight. This is the 133 that's been a little off speed here as our leaders lap around him. A lot of racing left here to go to settle this thing out. These drivers cannot make it from this point forward on fuel. Oh, and Joe Yates slides up and gets into the lap vehicle. Not sure who just came across the mic and said that, but that's not the way that happened. Caution is out, and we'll go back and take a look at it there. So Joe Yates is smoking at this point in time, but we will rewind this and take a look at it. So we will take a look at it here. The 133 is up to the outside there. It looks like as Joe Yates comes off the corner, he continues to slide all the way up to the track, gets into the lap truck, and spins himself around.
I don't know, Pat. Looks to me like the 133 was turning down into Joe.
All right. Well, we're definitely looking at it from two completely different camera angles here.
Well, I'm just watching your replay. But it looked like he was not up as high as really what he could have been. And it looked like he was coming down the track a little bit.
We'll take a look at it one more time here. We'll do it at quarter speed. And again, we see Joe Yates coming all the way up the track into the 133. 133 definitely coming down a little bit, but Joe came all the way up to all the way up the track. So tough break though, especially for Joe Yates and a couple of those guys there. I don't know that you could really put a lot of fault there at that accident, but we'll definitely have to clean up the race comms there a little bit because no one needs to be making those call outs.
What is going on with the 41 truck right now?
So take a look here. Looks like some of our leaders have been on and off pit road. Yeah, we continue to see some of the different. It might take a couple laps here to sort out the running order here as we continue to have a couple different strategies play out here. Some trucks pitting under this caution, some staying out, some coming grabbing that last set of tires here. So we'll continue to kind of monitor here, and when it all shakes out, get everybody the correct running order.
I tell you, after more than 100 laps complete here, we still got 24 trucks out of the 41 that started this race. 24 still on the lead lap with probably another 8 trucks after that are just 1 lap down. With all the green flag racing we've had, that's pretty impressive.
It is. It's really impressive. To have I mean, again, like you said, JB, to have this number of trucks come out and have this type of a night here, you can't say enough about the quality of drivers. You can't say enough about how these guys are navigating. And I mean, you've talked about a couple of times, you know, the guys back there in the back, giving each other room, letting each other get sorted out to where they feel comfortable where they can run, and giving each other a lot of that respect and doing those types of things is really what makes this league go around. It makes the great racing that we've seen all night long. As we're coming up on 25 laps left here to go in the jam printing of Motions 130. Been a lot of great racing here this evening. We continue to kind of watch how some of the strategy is going to play out right now, because right now I'm showing David Cameron has taken over the lead of this race with Tommy Cook in second, and then I think our lead lap trucks that came down and probably grabbed their last set of tires in pit stop. Scott Sanderson, Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith, and those guys are going to be restarted back in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position.
I got some damage on the number 70, quite a bit of damage on his back end of that truck, and we'll have to see how these guys, how they can hold up here on this restart, because you know, at least the 3 behind him have been really fast, and Justin Hendry's not a slouch.
No, not at all. So it'll be interesting to see how it continues to play out here. Because now some of our leaders are going to be, I won't call them back in the pack, but they're going to have to navigate a couple trucks here. And Trevor McManus has worked his way back up there, and we know Trevor McManus, if he can see the lead, he's going to go for it.
Absolutely. He is definitely going to go for that lead.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We've seen him on quite a few different occasions will a truck do what it probably shouldn't have done. Yeah. We've seen him just muscle a truck and will a truck up to the lead.
Yeah, we're back under caution again. A quick caution here.
Okay. Looks like Michael Waite, Andy Kurtz has crashed here, so we'll go back and take a look. 48 truck here. This is a little bit further back in the pack, as it looks like the 88 gets really loose and in front of a few different trucks. Nothing that any of these other trucks could do. 88 just kind of loses control there in the center of the corner and collects up a couple other trucks. So tough break again. Going to bring us back under caution here.
I've seen a lot of damage to that 48 truck.
Now as we take a look at Ryan Pendleton and the number 23 machine, he's kind of moved himself up and through the field. You know, we were seeing him back in the teens and 20s there. But he's up to 12th position, even though his tailgate looks like the shape of a U.
Yeah, he's definitely had some impact there on that rear end. The spoiler's been up, the tailgate's caved in, but he's still getting around here pretty good in that 23 truck.
Hold up here. Does Jamie Mullins have a mustache on the front of his truck?
I believe he does. We've seen that before. I'm not sure what that's about.
That's a nice mustache, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Not everybody can pull that off.
No, and he's actually doing it pretty well.
Yeah.
The things you catch when you actually start looking around a little bit.
That's right.
But David Cameron continues to lead the field here this evening. I'd almost think he's kind of made his bet, and this is the way his race strategy is going to play out. He's got Scott Sanderson right behind him. Tommy Cook has still been able to hang on to the top three with that quick caution that came out. Eddie Smith has moved up into fourth, and right now Jonah Colbert's rounding out our top five.
We're at 19 laps to go here. And our J.M. Pringham Promotions 130 from Iowa Speedway.
Been a lot of great racing here this evening. 110 laps here complete already. A lot of side-by-side action. A lot of great green flag runs. We even saw some green flag pit stops come into play here. And again, a lot of these things I don't think we would have ever thought about. With 41 tracks on this little short track here, we see green flag stops. So just an amazing group of drivers out here, really driving hard, competing hard, but driving with a lot of respect.
That's right. I'm sure we'll have to have some debate and discussion about the incident there with the lap car and the 87. Might have to take a look at that from some different angles on replay and just take another look at that. But I don't think there was any malintent there.
No.
I think both parties maybe could have done something a little bit different and avoided that altogether. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion about that one.
I'm sure there will be. We'll take a good hard look at it. I got my initial impressions on it. You've looked at it from a couple of angles and got your initial impressions, but we'll get it all sorted. At the end of the day, it was a racing incident. Just good hard racing from a couple different drivers there, and luckily enough, Joe Yates has been able to recover really well from it. I expect that he's going to continue to move his way up through the field here. So with 19 laps left here to go, we'll take the green flag with 18 to go. There's still a lot of racing left here to go, and it's going to be, if we thought the intensity was ratcheted up before, it's getting ready to get real intense.
Yes, it is. Business is getting ready to pick up.
Green flag is out. David Cameron gets a great start here. He clears the 93 truck by a truck and a half there. Set sail off into turn one. Eddie Smith moves around the outside of the 70 truck, so he is clear. Justin Hendry as well. Jonah Colbert is now back into the sixth position. Scott Sanderson is all over the back of that 02 truck as Eddie Smith now is trying to take advantage of that. 93 wiggles coming up out of four. Eddie Smith is going to pull up right next to him, and the battle is going to be on for second place here.
I could see those hands working inside that 93.
And that 93 powered off of turn two there, cleared Eddie Smith, and now Justin Hendry sends it down into the corner. They touch a little bit. It looks like Hendry gets a little bit loose there. Eddie Smith is going to clear for third position. David Cameron is looking in his rearview mirror and saying, yeah, boys, keep racing.
Absolutely.
Here goes Eddie Smith again underneath the 93 truck. Jonah Colbert is now underneath the 85 of Justin Hendry for fourth position.
Yep, with 15 laps to go, this is exactly what David Cameron wants to see.
It looks like Eddie Smith is starting to prevail a little bit on that 93 truck. He's going to send it down into turn one. Clear the 93 is now Jonah Colbert. Oh my goodness. The 93 and 34 almost come together. But now Eddie Smith sets his sights on that 02 truck, trying to take control of this race. He's trying to get a nose underneath him and can't quite do it this time. Scott Sanderson pushes up there a little bit. And now Jonah Colbert's going to get underneath him, clear him going down into one. And Justin Hendry now is beside the 93 truck. Don't look down. That 93 truck is powering up. Jonah tries to throw the block, isn't able to do it. Those two will race side by side going down into three. Here goes Eddie.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I tell you, Pat, this is hard to call this right now because you got to talk. You got to be able to breathe, and I'm holding my breath on every freaking lap right now. But it looks like Eddie Smith is going to clear the 02.
That is bad news for the
back
field.
to the lead.
I think this is the first time he's led this evening, Jamie.
Actually, I think you're right.
That's bad news for the field right now. As Eddie Smith is cleared for the lead of this race. The 0-2 of David Kammerer is now back in second position. And Jonah Colbert has moved his truck up into third position. It looks like Scott Sanderson's starting to fade right now. Now Jonah Colbert is trying to look underneath that 0-2 truck before Eddie Smith checks out too far here. Jonah Colbert powers it down, but that 0-2 is not going to give up that easily. Powers that truck up on the outside. And now we're seeing Jake Ham and that 3 truck come up into the battle as he's back there with Scott Sanderson and Justin Hendry right now battling for that 5th position. Oh, wow. Here comes Joe Yates.
Wow.
We have 4 trucks running 3 different lines right now, battling for 5th position. Joe Yates now moves to the outside. Looks like Trevor McManus slides down to the inside.
Wow. 10 laps to 9 laps remaining.
Ryan Pendleton has now worked his well up into the top 10. He's up to 8th position. Alex Cruz back in 10th position. So we've got some trucks that are moving up through the field right now, but Eddie Smith is starting to check out. He's up 0.7 of a second on the field right now.
Wow. Not even going to give his birthday boy teammate a chance here in the closing laps of this race.
Hey, man. Roles in reverse, buddy. I'd be like, hey, buddy, I'm going to send you a card, but I'm going to win this race.
As long as you slip a 20 in it or something, we'll be good.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I'm going to send you a card, or something like that, but I'm going to go win this race. Just because it's your birthday, I ain't pulling over.
Wow.
Yeah.
So impressed right now.
I mean, that is some intense racing up here in the front part of this, and these guys weren't cutting each other's slack either. That was some intense competitive racing. Coming up on 7 laps left here to go in the Jam Printing and Promotions 130 from Iowa Speedway. Been an outstanding race here thus far. Joe Yates has now cleared himself into 5th position with one of his teammates. Jake Ham has worked his way all the way up into 4th position now, Jamie.
Absolutely. He's got that 3 truck wound up, and he's trying to get here to the front. But he's only got 6 laps left. Almost will be 5 laps at the line to try to catch Eddie Smith.
Scott Sanderson continues to kind of fall back through the field here. Justin Hendry is underneath him, and Ryan Pendleton has found that, I don't know what he has found. Again, we saw him running 16th, 17th, 20th position almost all night long, and now he has worked his way up into almost he's up here battling for 6th and 7th position, Jamie.
Wow, good job, Ryan.
Oh boy, Justin Hendry pushes up a little bit, gets into the side of Scott Sanderson, and those two get together. Scott Sanderson looked like he wanted to try to repay the favor there a little bit. Ryan Pendleton has actually cleared the 93 truck at this point in time. So Ryan Pendleton has now moved up into 7th position. Justin Hendry up to 8th, and Scott Sanderson has fallen back to 8th.
Oh,
and caution is out.
That is.
We'll try to take a look and figure out where the caution has come from, because we've got a lot of trucks slowing down at this point in time. I'm not seeing where the caution actually came from here, Jamie. Looks like most trucks are pointed in the right direction, so unless you can see something I'm not seeing, I'm not sure what brought out this caution.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either.
We'll head back up front here. I'm not sure our leaders wanted to see any of this happen right now, but we are going to have this is going to bring out a green-white checkered. Looks like Scott Sanderson has brought his truck down pit lane. Those tires must have been absolutely wore out, as he's going to go ahead and bring that truck down pit lane and get a fresh set of tires on it. Eddie Smith will have control of this race with his teammate to his outside. If there's a silver lining to this caution, it is him and his teammate on the front row. And I'm sure those guys will be communicating to each other how they want to do this restart, and be able to pull away and bring home the win here for JC Motorsports. And I'm telling you, you got a couple of those Indy Autosports guys, and Jake Ham and Joe Yates, they're sitting 4th and 5th. They're not going to lay back and just let this happen.
No, they're not. Hey, one of the the Indy Autosport driver that I'm really kind of shocked about tonight is Scott Rankin. Scott's running back in 27th right now, 2 laps down. Not had an opportunity to really talk about Scott a lot tonight, and he's usually got that 49 truck up towards the front. So, not sure, just an off night for him or what, but definitely been not one of his better performances.
No, and you're right. He's usually one of the trucks that's running up front, so he's definitely found some issues here this evening. Not had a Scott Rankin type of race, but knowing him, he'll be back strong next week. So we'll have to see how he recovers from this race. But again, I mean, we still got to settle this out up front. Those 2 JC Motorsports guys got control of this thing right now. David Cameron back there in 3rd position, and then 2 Indy Autosports guys, J Cam and Joe Yakes. So, and again, I can't say enough about Ryan Pendleton. Really thought he was struggling with that truck all night long, but has found something here late in the race, and he's moved himself up into 7th position. So, big shout out to him for his first night here with that Veterans 48 truck, and maybe you can tell everybody what Veterans 48 is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Veterans 48 is a veteran nonprofit out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Their whole mission is to modify motorcycles, mainly Harleys. In fact, I guess it's the 48 Panhead is what they really specialize in. They modify them for wounded and disabled veterans to continue to be able to ride. They are equipped with what they call tank shifters. Maybe you definitely are more familiar with riding than I am. I rode dirt bikes. So I'm guessing it's a means of using your knee against the side of the tank to shift. Is that what it is?
It's like a regular stick shift that you'd find in a car. It just comes up the side of the tank, and you're able to shift with your hand.
Oh, okay.
Instead of shifting with your foot, which normal motorcycles are.
Right.
Yep. That's all it is.
Okay. Well, I assumed it was done with the knee, and you kept both hands on the handlebars. But okay, I guess you use your hand to do it. But anyways, they modify these bikes so these wounded, disabled veterans can continue to ride or regain the ability to ride. So it's anything that's going to help veterans is what we're all about here at Goat Locker Racing. So hopefully here, and hoping, don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'm hoping in October we can start doing a fundraiser for them to try to raise some money. So be looking forward to that. And if we did really well on the one we did for Tracks for Vets back in April. So we didn't have quite the following as we do now for them, so hopefully we can do even better for Veterans 48. But definitely check them out on Facebook, Instagram, on the internet. Just look for Veterans 48. I share a lot of their stuff on our page on Goat Locker.
We're back underway here.
Three flags out.
We're going to settle this race one way or another. Eddie Smith gets a great start there. Jonah Colbert's able to clear for 2nd place right now. Those 2 Indy Autosports guys are duking it out for 4th position as Joe Yakes is all over the back of that 02 truck. Thinks a little bit better of it, slips there, and now J Cam's going to have a little bit of a run on him. But these top 5 drivers have really kind of spaced it out here a little bit. As the white flag is going to come out this time around, Eddie Smith is going to see the white flag waving in the air and his teammate behind him, so no better position to be in. As we continue to run it out here, David Cameron gets looks like Jonah Colbert really slips up coming out of the corner, tries to throw the block. The 0-2 isn't letting him do the block, forces his way underneath him. I don't blame him. Those 2 are going to race side by side off the field, but Eddie Smith is going to be the winner here tonight.
Wow. Awesome job. Awesome job by Eddie Smith. Awesome job by this entire field, man. But really good racing throughout. Good racing there between the 0-2 and Jonah Colbert for 2nd place. Jonah edges him out. Wow, just phenomenal job.
Yeah, I mean, just an outstanding job here this evening. I know Eddie probably can't be happier right now to come out here in a field of 41 drivers. He really didn't lead until these last, handful of laps. So he battled all night long to get up here and win this race, and by God, he earned it for sure.
Absolutely. Burn him down, Eddie.
Great race for him. His teammate Jonah Colbert finishes there in 2nd place. And David Kimmer in that 02 truck with his strategy keeps it there in third position.
Wow. And I'm going to be honest, I did not see that coming. I thought for sure he was going to be a sitting duck and was just going to fall back through the field. But he was able to hold on to that lead for quite a while and still manages to put that car on the podium. And we will talk to him shortly here and find out how he did it.
Yeah, and a great recovery by Joe Yates. Was running in third position, got tangled up with that lap car, able to battle back all the way up into fourth position. So can't say enough about that run. And Jake Ham coming out for his first race with us, rounding out our top 5. What an awesome race here this evening.
Absolutely, and got both of our Goat Locker Racing entries in the top 10, with Ryan Pendleton leading the way in 7th and Alex Cruz coming in 10th. And another thing we've been remiss to bringing up is our other teammate, Cody McElwain, couldn't be here tonight. He's still over in Louisiana helping those folks get their power back on. So Cody, stay safe, help those people out, and we can't wait to get you back here, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're always thinking about you, brother, and can't wait to get you back out on the track and have some fun. But let's go ahead and grab hold of our race winner, Eddie Smith, and have a chat with him. Hey, Eddie, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, fellers!
Hey!
All right.
Man.
Holy smokes, man. So 41 trucks take the grid here this evening. We don't see the number 25 truck take the lead until about 15 laps left to go. And then you were able to power it home and bring home the win. So, man, take me through your race and how some of the intense that race was. We saw some pit strategy there at the beginning, and how you were able to bring home the win here tonight.
Yeah, we expected a lot more cautions, but man, everybody did a great job for the most part with that many drivers. So it was really hard to pass. It was really, really hard to pass. So whenever Jonah got out front, that was, there was no way I was going to catch him, and if I did, I wasn't going to pass him. So we were good there, and the tire and fuel strategy was a little weird how you had to do it. You had to pit for fuel but not take any tires. And there at the end, it just seems like we made the right calls as far as with tires and stuff. I know a couple guys stayed out trying to bank on a lot of cautions, and we got a little run there towards the end, and it just worked out. So credit to my team for having a good strategy.
Hey, Eddie, man, congratulations on getting the first win of the season tonight. Outstanding job, and you're right, outstanding job by the entire field. Can't say enough about it. How was that truck? We noticed you and Jonah and a couple others stayed out at the early part of this race on tires for a long time. How is that truck handling there late in that tire run?
Really tight. It was extremely tight. With 50% fuel, it was just never really felt loose other than just right at the first turn of new tires. So, yeah, there was just no passing. If when it got to a long run like that and staying out on tires, you just had to be smart. Pick your battles. There's a couple times you could get to the inside of somebody, but if you did that, it would just be detrimental to the tires and maybe who you're trying to keep up with. So it was just a game of chess, really. It felt it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun up there with Justin Hendry, Joe Yates, and those guys trying to decide, okay, can we pass? Do we need to wait? I jumped up to the outside of Jonah because Joe was coming up on the outside. I knew if he got to the outside of him, it was, and I'm not sure I would have been able to hold him off. So, pretty interesting race. I think it worked out good. The tire and fuel setup, so it made it really interesting for sure.
Hey, that's what we aim for. So I gotta ask, do you have any regrets about taking a win away from the birthday boy?
Wow, you really put me on the spot with that question. No, I don't. No, I don't. I think we're both here to race, and I think the first half of the race we're always just kind of, hey, okay, let's help each other out and let's not race each other. But towards the end of that race, it's just get all you can get, and it could have very easily been him in that situation. He would have taken home the victory. So. And as far as anybody I want to thank, I just want to thank myself, and I.
Here we go again.
Really great job I did, but no, I want to thank my team for really coming up with a really good strategy. We worked through the race, me, Jonah, and Alan Smith. Got my daddy in the race today, so that's pretty cool. Shout out to him. And And so that was we did a really good job, and man, thank y'all so much for putting this on. Can't say enough about how much I love racing here and racing with this group of guys. It never fails to disappoint. It never disappoints. So never fails to disappoint.
Eh, it happens, man. But I would have let the birthday boy win. I'm just a better friend than you. But that's neither here nor there.
No, we wouldn't have.
No, I
I've
wouldn't
seen
have.
that. I saw that Xfinity race. You wouldn't let nobody win.
No, I wouldn't. I would have done what you did. I would have sent him a card later. But congratulations, Eddie. I mean, love having you in the league. Love seeing you guys out there racing. One hell of a win here tonight, man. I know you battled hard all night long, definitely with the strategy and all that. But get out there and celebrate, man. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you a lot more here in the future.
Thanks, guys.
We've actually got 2 pairs of father-sons out here this season. We got Eddie Smith and his dad, and Joe Yates and his dad, plus Joe Yates' uncles out here. So getting a whole family thing going on here at Goat Locker Racing. Love it.
Hey, Jonah, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Hey, buddy.
Birthday boy.
Oh, I guess what? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Is there a fee I can pay to avoid this next time?
Happy birthday, little feller. Happy birthday to you. You're welcome. That was free of charge, Jonah. Free of charge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But man, I mean, what a great race here for you this evening. Took the pole, led a lot of laps early. Definitely some strategy that came into play throughout the race there. Saw yourself kind of get back in the pack a little bit. We heard from Eddie it was really tough to pass, but man, you were battling hard there at the end. So first and foremost, congratulations on the second place finish, champ. And secondly, man, take us through your race and how you were able to navigate it and bring it home in second.
Oh, I was one of my favorite tracks. Probably is my favorite tracks. Where I got my first win, and it's just a unique track because of the tunnel bumps there in turn one. And I felt like I was able to manage those bumps better than anybody else, at least when I was out front. And it just you gotta time it right and get the nose pointed towards the inside wall before you hit the bumps. When you gas it up, it'll actually help turn the truck. And I felt like I was really fast, but uh, once you had the strategies starting to mix up, you saw people getting out front on older tires or vice versa, and it really affected how I was able to run. And I'm not saying in a bad way. It was a lot of fun racing those guys side by side, but it made you have to kind of pick and choose your battles when you wanted to pass somebody and when you wanted to back off. Because I raced someone side by side there for a few laps, and I think it was Joe, and I ended up backing off. Just because I needed to save some tire in case we ended up going green. But it was a lot of fun, and the cards fell a little bit better for Eddie to get out front there on the restart, and that definitely helps because once you control the restart with 2 to go, I mean, there's not much you can do from second, especially how hard it is to pass. But it was a lot of fun, and congrats to him. He definitely deserved it. So.
Yeah, absolutely, Jonah, man. Congratulations on a strong run here tonight. Man, take us through that race in there at the end with David Camara. Because I'm going to tell you, it was hard for me to talk those closing laps because I was holding my breath. I mean, you guys were bumper to bumper, door to door, racing hard but cleanly. Man, what was that like inside the truck?
Shout out to David. He's a good driver. This is my first time racing with him, but I can already tell. I mean, when he was up there on old tires, he was giving it hell on old tires, and it was not easy to get by him with those brand new tires. I had to work for it. He didn't give it to me, but he held his line. He didn't slide off the corner. He didn't come down low. He didn't pinch me, none of that. So I had a feeling on that final lap, I hit the apron going into one, and it kind of upset the truck. And I saw him get a run, so I threw just kind of a half block, and he sent it into turn 3. So I gave him just enough room, and we touched doors, which was awesome. And I figured having the high line, I'd have the run off the corner, and it ended up working. But yeah, he's a good racer. He kept it clean, and we touched doors, and that was awesome. And man, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, it looked like it was a lot of fun. It was great to watch. Phenomenal job by you and the rest of everybody else in this field. So, again, congratulations. Anybody you need to thank? Shout out sponsors.
Thank Locker Racing for putting this on. G2G Trailers, Gill Insurance Advisors, all those guys that help sponsor these races and put everything on because this is a lot of fun, and I think we're here for the long term. So
awesome, man. I mean, Great racing by you and your teammate here this evening. I know Eddie had his dad here with you guys here this evening as well. So awesome to see everybody come out. Great race, champ, for race number 1 of season number 2. Good way to start the season off. And I guarantee we'll be talking to you a lot more coming up here in the future.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right, see you, brother.
See you.
And we just picked up a new follower. Not exactly sure who it was. If anybody in the stream knows and can put the name up here so we can give them a shout out, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, I just heard the music come across here. So we are we'll see what happens here, but doesn't look like a lot of guys hung out in Discord afterwards. We're not going to be able to interview our third place finisher of David Cameron.
Uh-oh.
He has left the building.
Well, that's kind of bad on us. I don't think it's in the rules, and we told them to read the rules. So, but we didn't really remind anybody. We probably should have done that. So, David, next time, you need to hang out for top 3, get interviewed. Is Joe Yates around? I mean, he finished 4th.
Those Indy Auto Sports guys, they end up in
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They don't want to hang out with the cool kids.
Okay. Well, David, you had a hell of a run tonight, man. Excellent job. You definitely proved me wrong. I thought you made a bad call staying out there, but you made it work, man. Excellent job. So congratulations on your 3rd place finish. And I know you want to thank Jam Printing and Promotions and Gill Insurance Advisors and D2D Trailers and Travis Lee Creative and Veterans 48. So they appreciate your thanks, and so do we. So we'll see you out here again next week, hopefully.
That's what I'm talking about. You'll do the sponsor read for them. I love it. It's almost hard to wrap this race up, man. What an awesome way to kick off season number 2. I know that you and me have been working on this for a long time, wanting to build it to this size of a league, wanting to build it to this quality of a league, and to be surrounded by these great group of drivers. And I don't know, it was almost like sending your kid to college. I don't know, whatever proud moment you can think of as a parent, that was like me and Jamie tonight. Watching, this take off the way that it has, to have 41 drivers take the field here tonight. We put them on a tough track. Iowa's not easy. We put them on a short track, and Jamie, we had some damn good racing all night long.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody that didn't embrace what we are trying to put together here. Excellent job by everybody in the field. We'll say the race comms needs to clean up, and we will address that afterwards. Not a big deal, but we're going to nip that in the bud. So that was really the only negative I took from this race tonight. Some drivers out there on the track might feel differently, but I just, to be honest, we didn't see anything egregious go on. Mistakes are going to happen. No, there's not a professional out here, and even the professionals end up with wrecked cars. Just ask Kyle Busch. So, phenomenal job by everybody. I was a little nervous when I saw how many guys actually showed up tonight. I loved seeing it, but I was like, man, Iowa's a short track, and we got this size of a field. This could be really bad. But I mean, great job by everybody.
Yeah, outstanding. I would have guessed a lot more cautions that we saw here this evening.
Oh yeah.
But great racing. You put 41 trucks on a track, and we saw green flag pit stops.
Absolutely. I never thought we were going to see green flag pit stops tonight.
No. So just amazing job. And we always want to go out and thank all the drivers. We spend a lot of time thanking our sponsors and all that. But for all the drivers that come out here and support us, that come out here and make the time to race with us, it does a lot helping veterans as well. It allows us to reach a lot more people. And so we truly thank everybody that came out. But we'll give a couple shout outs here. And I can't go through the entire 41 race field. I think we did a pretty good job of calling almost everybody's number here this evening. But some great runs. Again, Joe Yates, want to give him a big shout out. Got tangled up with that lap truck, battled back up into 4th position. As I said it again, Jake Ham coming up all the way up into the top 5. Outstanding job. We talked about the 2 Goat Lock Racing drivers. Trevor McManus, I would say, didn't have a Trevor McManus kind of night. It seemed like every time we saw him starting to reach his way towards the front. Something would happen. He would lose it, and then back he would slide again. So not a Trevor McManus kind of night. And some other great races. Brandon Wallace, who was up there for a little while, finishes back in 17th position.
Led a lot of laps tonight. Brandon Wallace led several laps. He had that truck up front for quite a while.
Yeah, and we had 18 trucks finish on the lead lap here, with Scott Sanderson finishing as the last truck on the lead lap. But some great runs as well. Brian Brogan with the 21st finishing positions. Great night for him. Phil the Hitman Monzo finishing back in 23rd position. So a good night for him. We talked about Scott Rankin there a little bit. Again, a couple of these Indy Autosports guys not having typical nights for them. Expect that to turn around next week. But a lot of great runs back through the field here. Mike Browning, that was up there for a little while. Tough race for him towards the end. Finishes 11 laps down there in 34th position. Greg Sherman, great to have him out as well. And then Michael Leo Jr., who was up front there for quite some time, ends up finishing back in 38th position. Jacob Ellingson in 40th, and then Charlie Gates all the way back in 41st position. I'm going to get that out. I swear I'm going to get that out. But a lot of great racing. Again, can't talk about it enough. Can't say it enough. I just can't. A lot of great racing here this evening. Can't wait for race number 2 coming up here shortly. As we take a look at the schedule here, I don't quite have it built into the stream as of yet, so bad on me. We'll get it up for next week. But next week we head off to Bristol night race. Again, 45% fuel, only 3 sets of tires total. 23rd of September will be at Las Vegas night. 30th will be at Pocono, and then on October 7th we are going to get to our first break in the season at Talladega, which should be a lot of fun there. So the next 4 races, a little mixture there. We're going to go to another short track at Bristol, then to a 1.5 miles, and then to the Tricky Triangle at Pocono, Jamie's favorite track. And then we'll head off to Talladega. So thanks to everybody that tunes in. Any final thoughts from you, Jamie?
No, great race, and just want to let everybody know. I know the guys in Discord, the guys racing are aware that we're doing this. We haven't really talked about it with the folks watching the stream. We're going to take probably about 5 minutes here. We're going to have to switch places as far as who's running the stream, and then we will be right back with another edition of Goat Talk. So the last time was a lot of fun, had a lot of laughs, a lot of interaction with some of the drivers. So give us, like I said, about 5 minutes, and come back and join us for Goat Talk, and we'll finish this celebration off.
Yep. So again, thanks to everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Networks. Thanks to all the drivers that come out each and every week and race with us. Thanks to all the sponsors that we've talked about multiple times this evening. Tomorrow night we'll be back on the air at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Magic Monzo's ARCA series. Saturday we're going to take that day off, and Sunday we'll be behind the wheel of the Rebels trucks again. So still a couple more opportunities to tune in, but yeah, give us about 10 minutes or so. Come hang out with us for a little bit of Goat Talk. Thanks again, and we'll see you all here real soon.